The story begins as Hikaru spots a powerful beam of light coming out of a building. Alarms blare inside the building, and guards are horrified to find that something very important was stolen. The thief is named Akai, and she makes her acrobatic escape. A group of guards meet her on the roof, but she is what is called a mecha-ure host, and she breaks out her weapon. Akai begins to beat down on them, but they have anti-mecha-ure weaponry. She is captured, and some other host prepares to take back the cube she stole. Akai's mecha-ure speaks, and is insulted by how his kind are treated. The blue-haired guy doesn't care what its opinion is, because he believes that mecha-ure are only tools for humans to use. The guy takes back the cube and begins to taunt Akai, but she has some tricks up her sleeve. She breaks free, and an epic battle commences. The guy demands that she be captured, but she is far too agile. Akai eventually dislodges the cube, but its container is broken, and a ton of power erupts from it. This is the light that Hikaru saw, and he feels something strange as he hears a voice calling out for someone to help it. The next day, Hikaru heads to school, and he wonders what he saw. On the train, Hikaru has some sort of panic attack and tries to run back home, but his friends appear to greet him. Nearby, Akai is scolded for causing such a commotion. She is told that the cube should still be somewhere nearby, and Akai vows not to mess up again. Hikaru tells his friend about the voice he heard and the bright light he saw the night earlier. After he got a closer look, the building exploded. Hikaru took a video of it, but for some reason the recording doesn't show anything. Hikaru also saw something bright fall nearby, but that's not in the video either. His friends don't believe him when he explains that the voice was calling for help, and they assume that Hikaru was just dreaming. They mock him for believing in ghosts, but Hikaru is shocked when he hears the voice again. Hikaru rushes towards the voice, but he is told that he's getting too close to a restricted area. This amazing cop tells him to go home, but just leaves him there, and Hikaru hears the voice calling for help again. Something comes over Hikaru, so he runs into the restricted area, and he frantically searches for the source of the voice. He eventually finds a glowing cube, and the voice comes from it calling for help. Hikaru is shocked, but he decides to touch the cube anyway. This causes the cube to fly straight into the sky for some reason, and Hikaru is startled when it comes crashing down. The cube comes just short of hitting him, and it releases an immense amount of power. The light is incredibly bright, and Akai is shocked when she sees it. Hikaru now has a giant arm sticking out of his back, and the arm celebrates as it has been saved. Hikaru seemingly can't feel the giant arm somehow as he searches for where the voice is coming from, and the arm reveals itself. The arm casually thanks Hikaru for saving him and asks for his name. Hikaru is losing his mind as he has no clue what is happening, but the arm remembers to keep his manners and decides to introduce himself first. Unfortunately, the arm has forgotten what his name is, and Hikaru tries to get away from it. Hikaru can't pull it off, so he sees that it's attached to his hoodie. Before he can get any answers, a drone finds him, and it says that its target has been found. Hikaru assumes that it's a delivery drone, so he ignores it to get rid of the arm. Unfortunately, this drone is a weapon of mass destruction, so Hikaru must run for his life. Hikaru tells the arm to get away from him and go with his drone friend, but the arm explains that Hikaru is his only friend now. Hikaru falls as the arm pulls his pants off, but Hikaru manages to use the arm to keep the drone from slicing him in half. The arm points out that they don't have time to laugh, and we see that several more of these Terminator drones have appeared. The arm tells them not to fear though, as they simply need to work together to escape. Elsewhere, a group is informed that the trigger arm has been located. One guy is glad to see that it's back, but everyone is furious to hear that it has made contact with an unknown human. They aren't sure, but they figure that this boy is just a civilian. The president of this group leaves Colonel Sanders to handle the situation, so he orders for a perimeter to be established around the area. He wants to prioritize the capture of Trigger Arm, and he doesn't care what happens to the kid. Hikaru manages to hide for a moment, and the arm credits him for being a fast runner. Hikaru demands to know what the arm is, but the arm doesn't even remember his own name. The one thing he does know is that Hikaru is a really stand-up guy. The arm explains that without something called Arbitrium, he cannot move as he wishes. Hikaru wonders what Arbitrium is, but the arm is really erratic and just asks for the kid's name. Hikaru doesn't introduce himself as he leaves, and he explains that the arm seems to be working well enough to escape on its own. The arm explains that they still might be in danger, and he's worried about Hikaru's safety. Hikaru just blames the arm for everything though, and says that he will be safer if he gets away from him. The further Hikaru gets, the more the arm seems to be in pain, so the arm begs for him not to leave him alone. Hikaru rushes to help the arm, but it quickly recovers, so he leaves again. They go back and forth like this a few times, so it becomes clear that Hikaru has to stay close, or else the arm will lose its energy. Hikaru has no other choice, so he reluctantly puts his hoodie back on that has the arm attached to it. Just then, they are found by the drones again, but this time Hikaru demands that the arm make itself useful. The arm does just that, and it drags Hikaru away. Up above, the blue-haired guy determines that the drones will be enough to handle the civilian because he needs to focus on Akai, who is nearby. Akai is down below, but she's really bad with directions, and the person in her ear tells her to go in the other direction. Akai doesn't feel like going all the way around the building, so her arms offer to break through it, but she decides to just squeeze through an opening. Hikaru continues to run for his life, but Akai eventually finds him. She brings her arms back out, and she makes quick work of the drones. Akai calls Hikaru's arm Alma, and she warns it not to move or she will eliminate it on the spot. Akai's arms remind her that she's supposed to read some script to put her targets at ease, but they're interrupted by Bluey. He wants revenge for what happened the night before, and he ends up arguing with Akai's arms. Alma shows Hikaru a way out, and Akai can't chase after them with her arms out. The drones go after Hikaru, but Akai becomes furious. Hikaru regrets ever coming to the restricted area, and he's clearly terrified, so Alma tells them to just leave him behind. Everyone is after him, and Alma doesn't want to involve Hikaru any further. Hikaru is hesitant to leave because Alma will lose all his strength, and Alma is glad to see that Hikaru really is a kind person. This only strengthens Alma's resolve because he just remembered that he never wants to see kind people get hurt. He tells Hikaru to forget everything he saw and get away as fast as possible. Just then, we see that Akai destroyed the blue guy, and she's fed up with Alma running away. Alma surrenders and agrees to do as she says, as long as she lets Hikaru go. Hikaru has completely changed his mind, as he has decided to stop being a coward because it would leave a bad taste in his mouth if he ran away. Akai decides that she will have to destroy them, but Alma shockingly tells Hikaru to step forward. Hikaru is hesitant, but Alma explains that this is the only way out of the situation. Hikaru decides to trust this arm that he just met, and he rushes forward. Alma goes through some sort of transformation that allows Hikaru to punch Akai, and she can only reach out to them as they escape. They emerge from a sewer soon after, and Hikaru formally introduces himself. Back at the building, some kid collapses, and he furiously wonders who stole his mecha Ude. He is totally enraged, and he declares that the trigger arm is his. Akai's boss is disappointed to hear that she let the arm get away, but he understands because no one could have expected that a civilian would be able to control Alma. They have no time to waste, as their enemies will surely chase after him, so he sends Akai back out to retrieve the arm. Later, Hikaru takes Alma to school, but he makes sure to hide the giant talking arm. However, when Hikaru arrives in class, he is horrified to find that Akai is a new student at the school. Akai ignores everyone to place her seat right next to Hikaru, and she introduces herself. Thanks for watching my recap. Subscribe to the channel for more videos.